LA Knight, yeah, the megastar, the man whose popularity has exploded in WWE, and he has just punched his ticket to Money in the Bank. The crowd is undeniably behind him, and he has the taste of the main event. But that top tier, career defining championship win has remained elusive for LA Knight. Now he has the golden opportunity in front of him. The question looms larger than ever. Is it finally LA Knight's time, or is it truly now or never? The moment for his main event aspirations. We know that LA Knight is no longer a rookie. He's a seasoned veteran who has scratched and clawed his way to the level of stardom that he's at now. But in the fast paced world of WWE, windows of opportunity can close quickly. Is Money in the Bank 2025 his absolute best and perhaps final chance at grabbing that brass ring? We've seen LA Knight get incredibly over with the fan base, only for his pushes to stall or be diverted. With his undeniable connection with the fans, why hasn't he broken through that next level of consistency? And can he afford another near miss, especially with the briefcase on the line? This isn't just about one match or one briefcase. No, 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 no. For LA Knight, this is upcoming period could define the entirety of his trajectory of his WWE career. We're going to break down why, for the megastar, it truly feels like it is now or never to solidify his place at the very top of WWE. Let's talk about it. Yeah. Look, LA Knight has a ton of history at the Money in the Bank PLE. He's been a popular entrant in the ladder match. Think about it. 2023, he worked the London event despite a strong fan support and several moments where it appeared he was close to winning. It was Damian Priest who ultimately won the briefcase. In 2024, LA Knight ran it back. He participated in that ladder match in Toronto, and it was a moment in which Drew McIntyre ultimately won. Now, LA Knight, he is involved in the lead up to this June 7th PLE from the Intuit Dome in Inglewood, California. On the May 23rd episode of SmackDown, LA Knight won a triple threat qualifying match, going over the likes of Shinsuke Nakamura and the recently returned Aleister Black to secure his spot in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, which was significant. He capitalized after Black hit Nakamura with the Black Mass, tossing Black out of the ring and pinning Nakamura. Now, he joins a pretty loaded card of talents in this match. And it got me thinking, okay, I understand that there are some significant people in this match. Now, I am recording this before Monday Night Raw, so if this is predated, I apologize. But let's just say that CM Punk qualifies. Let's just say he goes over AJ Styles and Chad Gable. CM Punk and LA Knight, to me, are two guys that make the most sense in terms of who could win this match. And as I look at the scale, I go, okay, while yes, it would make sense for CM Punk to go over and win the match, therefore, he could hold Money in the Bank and he can call his shot out in advance and saying, hey, I'm going to come after John Cena. I'm going to challenge him for the undisputed WWE Championship, and we run that match back once again. I see that. I understand that. And I think that could happen. I also, at the same time, hope it does not happen because, as I pointed out with LA Knight, he has been a guy that has been very, very close to making it to the main event level. Okay, because we've seen LA Knight in main event pictures. I think it is now or never that LA Knight finally wins the world title, the WWE title. We've seen him compete in Royal Rumbles. We've seen him compete in Elimination Chambers. We've seen him challenge Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Championship in 2023 at Saudi Arabia. Yet he just comes up short. He is fed to those who need to be feasted. And at the same time, you have LA Knight, who isn't over babyface, who is over with the fan base, who does get some of the biggest crowd reactions, whether it's backstage segments, promo segments, or in-ring contests. This guy has been over for quite some time, over like Rover. And yes, I understand that they have given him the United States Championship on two separate occasions over the last year or so, but at the same time, it feels like it is pulling teeth to get WWE to actually pull the trigger and put this guy as a top tier star or put this guy as a realistic champion, right? And that's not to say that WWE has done a bad job with LA Knight. They've booked him actually quite well and very consistent in terms of always on television, always mixing it up with top stars, and mostly winning his matches. I will get that. I'm just talking about like, there is that there are levels to this game. And with LA Knight, he's not yet got to the main event level. He is yet not to become a world champion. And at some time, you have to look in the mirror and go, okay, if you're WWE, if you're Triple H, you gotta go, is this guy a main eventer? Yes or no? Do you think he's going to be a main eventer? Okay, what are you going to do to get him to the main event seat? You don't see him as a main eventer. You don't see him as a world champion. See him as an upper card guy, a guy that is a bridge gap between other upper card guys and the main event scene, and you want to use him as a toothpick to get him, to get others over at the expense of LA Knight. Okay, that's fine, and I disagree with that because I think if you look at the crowd reactions, you look at the response, you look at the social media engagement, you look at the numbers, everything tells you that fans are behind LA Knight. They're vocalizing that they're behind LA Knight. They're showing you that they're behind LA Knight with their viewing habits, with their social media engagement, merchandise, right? Like in 2023, before they did the whole Roman Reigns match, he was actually one of their top tier merchandise sellers. He was top 3, sometimes top 1, right? At the very top. So, and yes, he has fallen down the card, but you also got to look at like, okay, in 2023, I was calling for them to, before the Roman Reigns match, I really think you have to put his career in 2 different categories, right? Long story short, 2023, he does a feud with Bray Wyatt in January at the Royal Rumble. He misses out on WrestleMania, is not featured on television that much, but he keeps getting these crowd reactions leading up to Mania and coming out of Mania that are getting stronger and stronger and stronger. So they're starting to use him on television more and more and more. And finally, they're like, okay, let's do something with this guy. So they pair him with John Cena and they put him in a feud with The Miz, right? And everything's chugging along. And then what happens? Well, 2 significant things happen. Number 1, they book him in Saudi Arabia at Crown Jewel in November of 2023 in a match against Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Championship, in which everyone and their mother knew he had no shot of winning, and he didn't win whatsoever. And then they fed him in a fatal 4-way match at the Royal Rumble, did not win. And oh, by the way, this guy named Dwayne The Rock Johnson came back, and ironically, LA Knight sounds exactly, or does it? Yeah, he sounds exactly like him. He has mannerisms like him. And so everyone's like, oh, well, and that's not the cool kid on the block no more. No, he's just a ripoff of The Rock, one of the most, if not the most charismatic superstars in the history of the wrestling business. Maybe the most charismatic guy of, Vince McMahon's WWE, WWF tenure, right? Maybe since Billy Graham, right? Back in the 70s. That is what we're trying to compare LA Knight to. It's not fair, right? Like you don't do that, but a lot of people do. And I think it knocked his stock down and he took a turn in terms of where he was at in terms of the pecking order in front of the fan base, which sucks, but that's just the reality of the situation, right? Now, at the end of the day, LA Knight, he's going to be A-OK because the megastar is going to be coming through Money in the Bank. If he does not win this match, it's going to be okay. The world is not going to end. But I think it's something that you really need to consider of like, okay, is it now or never for LA Knight? In my opinion, it is. We're either going to find out that he's a main eventer, he's a future world champion after this Saturday night, or we know that WWE is seriously not going to ever do anything with this guy. We need to kind of just forget about it.